Hi! Welcome to the keynote for the eJam, IGDA's virtual game jam for students. Game jams are a perfect opportunity to practice your game development skills, prototype your latest idea, polish your development process, and to make new friends. During this keynote, we're going to highlight our sponsors, reveal the game jam's theme, talk about prizes, and then share 3 amazing talks to get you informed and prepared. Now, let us thank our sponsors for their support. It is their backing that allows us to bring this wonderful opportunity to you jammers out there. We'd like to thank Obsidian Entertainment, Core Games, Riot Forge, and Unity for their support. Now, let me share with you Obsidian's latest game, Grounded, and some exciting news from their team.
Oh, good! You are not dead! I will be helping you out today. First things first, you're not supposed to be here. Secondly, you are very, 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 very small. Please refrain from panicking. Thirdly, the machine that could return you to your normal size is currently out of order. And everything in this backyard wants to, eat you. Again, your tiny panic will accomplish nothing. You are going to need to find a way to survive out here. I would recommend building a base, maybe a simple shelter of some sort. Oh, and weapons. You'll probably need some weapons. But you should be fine. Unless you get eaten. You'll either be fine or you will be dead. It's really up to you. Oh, and you might come across some strange things while looking around. I'm not sure who put them here or what they want. What I do know is that they're watching.
Isn't that exciting? Now, if you want to work on games like this, Obsidian Entertainment is currently doing their first annual Obsidian University Summer Internship Program and plans to expand that program in the future. Applications open up in the winter, and Obsidian would love for everyone who is interested to apply. It's open to everyone, not just students, and all applications are considered. The program is paid and features guest speakers, networking, portfolio reviews, and, of course, the opportunity to work on commercial products at the world-renowned RPG company. You can find out more about the program at obsidian.net/internships. This is also the perfect opportunity to learn the powerful toolset of Core, especially those of you who are new to game development. Core is the new free game creation platform that allows you to build, publish, and play games. With Core, you can get started making games right away using thousands of free, high-quality music, sound, art assets with no coding required. I, for one, am excited to get to create gorgeous environments without having to struggle with Blender or hunt for asset packs. Let me show you a quick video showcasing Core. Isn't that exciting? If you're more familiar with game development, though, you might want to make a different styled game. We are also getting support from our sponsor, Unity. Unity is a powerful game engine that can support the creation of 2D and 3D games using JavaScript or C#. Unity also offers an extensive asset library that can be used to help build out your game. Unity is providing 2 specialists to answer questions in the IGDA eJam and Unity Discord channels from 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time on both June 27th and June 28th. So you're welcome to ask questions there as you work on your eJam. Now, let me give you some general tips for the game jam before I announce the theme. With 48 hours, scope is key, so plan out bite-sized tasks that will bring your game to a playable state as quickly as possible. Feel free to reach out to people you don't know to join your team and for help. Even those of you who will not be paired with mentors, the IGDA Discord with its eJam channel will be watched by game developers willing to give you a hand. And don't forget that you can rely on your fellow jammers as well. Focus on the fun. The fun of the process as much as the fun of the game development itself. Now, to announce this year's theme is celebration. Streamers, fireworks, parties, and friends. It's time to celebrate. Whether your ideal celebration is a small birthday bash or a fantastical fantasy parade, we want to see your most fun, thrilling, and friendly celebration-themed games. We also have a bonus theme. The bonus theme is Core. Core Games is offering additional benefits to contestants who submit a game made in Core. Speaking of those benefits, let me tell you about the prizes. Students of all levels of experience are welcome and celebrated in this game jam. To acknowledge that each team will be facing unique challenges on their path, we will be giving special awards to the 3 teams with outstanding accomplishments in creativity, teamwork, and growth. Most creative. We are looking for the team that shows the most creativity in approaching the theme and their game. We want to celebrate the unique, creative, and thoughtful approaches in the mechanics, art, and theme of your game. Best teamwork. We're all coming together to make these games, and we want to recognize those who do the most to support each other. If you're a solo team, don't fear. We'll be keeping a close eye on our Discord and forums to look for those of you who are most willing to lend a hand and word of support to others. And best growth. The journey is the most important part of any game jam, not the result. We'll be recognizing the team that shows the most personal growth over the course of this game jam, so don't shy away from asking for help. Acknowledging the challenges that you are facing will get you the resources, support, and recognition for overcoming them. These 3 teams will win a live interview with the IGDA, with me actually, about your game and the efforts at the closing ceremony, which is going to be featured on the front page of Twitch. You'll also get an article about your team and the game jam on the IGDA website, within the IGDA Insider, and on our social media. That reaches 30,000 game developers alone on our emails, and even thousands of more on our social media. For those of you looking to start your career, this is the perfect way to get your name out there. And finally, VIP recognition by the IGDA, including granting first opportunity at free industry event passes and other benefits. Also, we have a special surprise for you. Every team who submits a game will be sent a participation certificate and granted a free year of IGDA membership, providing exclusive access to IGDA resources such as the IGDA Resource Library, IGDA chapters and special interest groups, and even more mentorship opportunities, and thousands of dollars in software and hardware discounts. Core Games is offering additional benefits to contestants who submit their game in Core. 2 weeks after the eJam ends, The top 3 core games will be awarded with featuring and promotion on the core homepage, social media, Discord, and emails. Thank you so much for joining us. And I see that there are some questions about the IGDA. We are the International Game Developers Association. We're a nonprofit association that works on supporting and empowering game developers around the world in achieving fulfilling and sustainable careers. So your success in the game industry is our mission, and that's why we're running this game jam to help you. One of the students that we've worked with in the past who has previously participated in game jams has some words of advice for you. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let's hear what he has to say.
Howdy everyone, I'm Tavian Bell and I'm a student-to-be graduate from AIE in Lafayette, Louisiana. I've participated in 5 game jams throughout my career, and to say that the experience was invaluable would be an understatement, because in our industry, a game jam is the best team building exercise you may ever experience. On that note though, I'm here to tell you 5 things I learned over the years so that you're a bit more prepared than others. First off, maybe when you enter a game jam, you work slowly with people you know. That's fine. Maybe you end up working with strangers. That's better. First thing to do at a game jam, get to know your team. What do they do? What software do they use? What do they want to do? What aren't they good at? Don't be afraid to let others know what you're good at, but also don't be scared to admit what you're not good at. And why? As a team, your job is to acknowledge each other's strengths while covering each other's weaknesses. And if one can teach the other how to get better at something they're not necessarily good at, then make the most of whatever time you have to learn new things from others on your team during and or after the game jam. Time permitting, of course. Make connections, and most importantly, make friends. Second tidbit of advice. Don't try to bite off more than you could chew. Aim to make a game that's short and can be beaten in a very short amount of time. Whether it's a weekend-long jam or a month-long jam, the goal should be to make a stable and polished game in as short as a time as possible. Segue into the third tip. Know what you're making before you work on anything. Personally, whenever I'm in a game jam, no matter what the theme is, after I get to know my team, I ask, what kind of game are you in the mood to make? Discuss what genres of games you all like, and discuss in a respectful conversation on why you think that genre might be a good fit for the theme. No one wants to go to a jam and make something they don't even want to play themselves by the end of it. Be sure to come to a compromise if you don't all agree on the genre. It helps everyone on the team to be as comfortable as possible outside of their comfort zone. The fourth advice tip I have to share is have a way to back up and share your work. GitHub and GitKraken are great for everyone working in the same ecosystem, but it's not necessarily for everyone, if that makes any sense. And trust me, I have sticky notes on my monitor right now to constantly remind me how to use them. That said, organized folder sharing system for your team members is not a bad idea either. Google Drive or Dropbox can help you share all sorts of art assets easily, and programmers, you can save versions of your game and even entire builds in a folder online just in case. If you have a Gmail account, you have 15 gigabytes of free online space to take advantage of, via Google Drive. Dropbox only provides 2 gigs of storage for free. And I used this method of folder sharing when coding my last 2 Game Jam games, Signal Lost and Enlightenment. Both games had a lot of hand-drawn art assets from artists on the team, and sharing them was as easy as dragging and dropping images into a web browser. And my final bit of advice for everyone, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy who goes into a game jam to make their game. A game jam should reflect the skills and personalities of all the team members, not just one person who has an ego bigger than their hard drive. Thank you all for listening. Mind you, this advice is from my personal experience and yours may vary. I suggest after the game jam, please share a postmortem about your experience. It will help give you and others insight on how much can be learned or obtained from the unique experience that is a game jam. That said, you can check out my game jam postmortems on my itch.io pages. I'll link them in Discord, and I'm open to any game jam related questions you may have in there as well. Thank you. I wish you all good luck on this jam. I can't wait to play some of y'all's awesome games, and keep being awesome. Take care.
All right. That was a great talk, and he provided some really, really wonderful advice. So, thank you so much for listening into his advice. We also have advice from a professor who decided to provide some information to us, and I will be playing his talk right now.
Hey nerds, welcome to the IGDA Student Game Jam. My name is Jim Flatmo, and I'm the Executive Director for the Advanced Media Entertainment Society, whose mission is basically supporting students making cool stuff. And I'm also the game design and production teacher at the Academy of Interactive Entertainment. I'm here to share with you today some tips for surviving and thriving in your very first game jam. So the first thing to remember is there are no wannabes in the game industry. Basically, being a developer means making a game. That's what you're doing right now. So congratulations, every single one of you is a bona fide game director right now. Once you make a game, congrats, you're a developer. Welcome to the games industry. So, we'd all like to take a second to welcome you to our ranks, and you are now one of us. Some pointers for you as you work through the game. First one is making games is hard work. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of struggle, but it's super rewarding, and that's why we do it. We want to see our cool visions come to life, and it's really exciting when somebody else gets to play through an experience that we designed for them. Game design is probably the only area where you get to create those kinds of experiences where the player gets to bring in whatever they're bringing into it, but we also get to interact with them in an interactive sort of a way, which is very, very cool. And it's something we can't replicate in other industries nearly as well. Movies are awesome, and I love that industry, and I've been part of that industry. But when you watch a movie, you're just watching a movie. Games we actually get to participate in, so that's what makes it exciting for me. Some warnings: you're going to struggle. For those of you who have done this before, you already know this. For those of you who are new, it's hard. You're going to struggle. It's going to happen a lot. There's always going to be setbacks that you weren't expecting. That's okay. That's normal. And when you look around seeing people's success, especially those really big companies out there, right? Like, you've got your Blizzards and you've got your Sonys and you've got your Nintendos, and it looks like, oh my God, they're releasing hit after hit after hit. What you don't see is all the struggles behind the scenes. There's some really great books about this, such as Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, that talk about the struggles. But we don't really get to see those as often because of where we're located. But I just want you to know that those struggles happen, and they're going to happen to you. That is a normal thing. We should be embracing that. We should be accepting that. And we should be using that to drive ourselves forward rather than setting ourselves back. So just know that ahead of time. It's going to be rough. You're going to have failures. Things are not going to work the way you planned. Sometimes they're going to explode quite spectacularly. That is also normal. We need to embrace those failures for the same reason, okay? Nothing will go as planned. And that doesn't mean you should not have a plan. In fact, I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. But you should expect that that plan will fail. And that's why I'm a big fan of fallback plans and fallback plans for my fallback plans and the fallback plan for the fallback plan to the fallback plan. Okay, this can go on for a while. But anyways, lots of planning, okay? Have that plan. And the better planned you are, when things go off plan, you have more frame of reference for what you ought to do and how to resolve that than if you didn't. So it's very, very important that we get those plans in. Talk to people. Game jams are awesome because basically it's this nerd collective, right? There's all these other nerds around, and they're going to be able to help you with stuff and have those nerdy conversations. And even if it's not about the thing that you're doing, right? Like I'm involved in this chat on Facebook with like a whole bunch of indie developers, and actually, well, not even just indies, AAA developers, everybody. And one of the cool things is like, also threads get started like, what's your favorite board game? Or what do you do when you're not doing anything related to games? I didn't quite understand that question, but there was a lot of people answering it with a lot of things that involved stuff like outside activities. It's all fake and legend, but that's okay. Anyways, but get to know your fellow developers. This is a really small industry, and the people around you in this game jam, virtually speaking, are your future peers in the industry. All right. And technically, if we're embracing the idea that you're now developers, I guess they're your current peers in the industry, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting to know those people. Everybody knows everybody in this industry. And so it's really important that we try to get to know them. It's all about the networking. Most people, you hear this adage, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know when it comes time to get a job. There are a number of people who have gotten their jobs because they met this dude at a game jam and it seemed to work out, and they worked on this cool thing together, and then that person turned out to be somebody that could hire them, right? So we want to make sure that we are always putting our best foot forward in these kinds of events, because you never know where those networking opportunities lie. The other thing is more pragmatic, right? Like, other people know stuff you're never going to have time to learn. Nobody knows it all. Okay, as much as I'd love to pretend that I know everything there is to know about game design, it would be a complete and total lie. And so what we do is we rely on each other. There's so much, even in the area of like art and animation. Not everybody knows everything about even just that subject, right? So it's really important to be able to share those skills. Nobody knows it all. Inversely, share what you know. Don't hide things, right? Like, if somebody needs some help, jump in and help them, especially if it's something that you know how to do really well. That time you spend with them might pay off later, right? So it's really, really important that we take advantage of those kind of things. And we share what we know, because that's going to make us work out better too. And embrace the spirit of collaborative competition. Like, I realize that there's a competition involved here, and some people's instinct is to like huddle and, make their bunker over here in the corner and be all alone. And that does not get you as far in these kinds of events as actually cooperating and working with other teams. So we want to be embracing that spirit of collaborative competition. Don't forget about self-care, right? So self-care, everybody is sitting there and you got your head in your computer and you've been like coding for like 48 hours straight, and you look around and you realize, I haven't had any water or sleep in the last 2 days. Don't do that, okay? First off, your body needs a lot of water to stay at full efficiency. Your body needs calories. Your brain is using up calories. Almost half the energy your body uses is in your brain. So if you're thinking, and I hope y'all are over the next couple of days, you need to be fueling that thought, and food is how we get there, right? So most of you are not robots. We need to have that self-care. Make sure you eat. Calories are important. Make sure you drink. Water is good. And for those of you like me who are super into your coffee, just remember that coffee will actually dehydrate you, and you need to drink water too. Don't just drink the coffee. Don't just drink the monster drinks. Drink water too. If you want to have your Red Bull, that's awesome. But don't forget that the Red Bull will actually take water out of your system. Get some sleep. Okay, it's tempting to just stay awake for the whole thing and try to burn. You will be less productive if you try to do that than if you try to take some sleep here and there. And sure, maybe you won't have time to sleep 16 hours or anything crazy like that, but try to get in the sleep where you can, because that'll help out. That'll pay off in the long run. Zombie coders are bad coders. I have never, ever met a zombie who was a good coder. Get some fresh air. I know the outside is scary. There's that big, giant, like glowing orb in the sky, and it makes us not want to come out of our basement. But we need to go outside once in a while. Air is good. It's going to clear your head. It's going to help you think. And frankly, sometimes stepping away from a project is the best thing you can do to make your project more successful. Okay, so get that air when you need it. And then there's kitten time. Baby animals have a psychologically proven value to help you think. Play with your puppy, pet your cat, whatever. If you've got an iguana, lizard, ferret, whatever your animal is, go spend some time with it. Find a neighbor's pet. Ask your neighbor before you start messing with your neighbor's pet. But get some time, get some social time in, and hang out with a baby animal. Just remember, jams are a great time to experiment. All right. You have an idea you want to test out. That's awesome. A lot of actual industry games have gotten their start with, I got a crazy idea for a game mechanic that they tried out at a game jam. So this is a perfect time to experiment. And on the inverse, if that idea doesn't pay off, oh, well, you only spent 2 days working on it, right? Okay, I've got a lot of things that failed that I spent a lot more than 2 days on. So we want to be able to spend a little bit of time testing out something cool. And maybe there's this idea you've had in your head. I want to bounce it off some other people at the jam. There's a lot of cool things that can happen if we're just testing a product here. It might not work out. Whatever, it's okay. It's a game jam. Who cares? Okay. And that's okay. It gives us a chance. And now we know that thing doesn't work. That's almost as important. Thomas Edison, when he built the light bulb, he failed like 7,000 times or 700 times, depending on which quote you read. But basically, in his quote was either, I didn't fail to make a light bulb 700 times. I just learned 700 ways that don't make a light bulb. Okay, we want to embrace that failure. It's good. It probably won't work out. Let's be honest. You got 2 days to make a game. Not everything is gonna work. And then the other important thing is always remember, whatever project you are working on is not your last project in industry, hopefully. And so whatever we learn from these projects, it's not about this game. Like, this game doesn't matter. I'd love to pretend it matters. Renee probably wishes I didn't say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter, okay? What matters is we're learning skills and we're learning things that we can bring with us into that next project. And it's always about the next project. That's what keeps us going, right? Even if you get a big hit, there's always a next project that you want to be working on. Remember the fun. A lot of times we forget about that part. Anytime you're looking at adding or changing something within your game, think to yourself, ask yourself the most important question. Is this a change that will add fun for the player? That is always the most important question all the time. If it isn't fun, it shouldn't be there. Scope small. Okay, game jams are a very, very short period of time. You do not have time to make the next massive AAA title. You'll be lucky if you complete a game, okay? So with that in mind, we want to think small. The smaller scoped games work better. We want to identify that MVP, which is the minimum viable product. We hear that a lot in industry. That's basically translated as the least amount of stuff we can have in the game and still have it be the game. That's what we should be aiming to build. If you finish on time or you finish early, we can add to that. We can expand to that. We can add some DLC. We can add loot boxes because everybody loves loot boxes. Don't do loot boxes. We can add some of those other cool features that we want to do. We can add more art. We can add all those things, but we can't do that until the core works. So get the core working first and then build from there. Pre-production is big. I can't say that enough. And, as a producer myself, this is the part where, my people shine is in all of that planning, right? We need to make sure that we plan. Plan some more. There's 5 P's in planning, and it's plan, 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 and plan. Okay, we need to make sure that we've got plans for everything. The better we plan up front, it might seem like we're wasting time, the better that project is going to turn out. It totally will save you time. An hour now saves 5 later. Many pros winning competition-based jams will spend their entire first day of the jam just planning because they know the secret. Better planning is a better product. Feedback is key. If the player does something good, let them know that they did it right. They should know that they're doing things the right way. They should know that they're headed in the right direction. They should know that they're attacking the monsters correctly. If they know that, then they can learn how to play your game more effectively. On the flip side, if they do something wrong, let them know it's wrong. Maybe we have a trivial consequence, maybe it's a painful one, but we need to let them know that that's not okay. There's a really, really great YouTube video about the first level of Super Mario Brothers and how it's like ideal game design, because every step of that level is designed to teach the mechanics of Super Mario Brothers. And by the time you're done with level 1.1, you know almost everything you need to play the entire game. Okay, it's kind of genius. So check that out, but it's all about that feedback and clarity. Okay, so we want to really, really make sure we focus on those. The other part is remember the fun, and this is part 2 of remember the fun. Is it fun for you to make, and are you having fun? And that's super important, because if you're not having fun making it, they're not going to have fun playing it. We want to make sure that you're having a good time. People will do better working on things that they enjoy. That's just a fact. So we want to make sure that you're having a good time making it. If it's not a project you love, work on something else. So in closing, I just want to say, welcome to the industry. You're now our peers. Have a great jam. Make some cool games, meet some cool people, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys make at the end of this journey. Have a great one. Take care. Goodbye.
Wasn't that a great talk? No, seriously, that was truly some sage advice, not just for game jammers, but for all game developers. If you liked that talk and you want to hear more about game development even after this jam, I recommend subscribing to our channel or just following us on IGDA.org. We want to empower the next generation of game developers, and we hope that you'll join us. Now, I know that a lot of you got quite excited in chat about Core and the Core games. So, luckily, we have a feature from them, and you can hear all about their amazing engine.
Hi everyone, my name is David. I'm with the Manticore Creator Relations team, and with me are Elisa and Tasha below me, and we'll be showing you Core today. So we're very excited to be part of the IDJ eJam, and Core is a fantastic tool to game jamming because you can make and iterate games really, really quickly. For those of you who don't know, Core is a free game creation platform that lets you create, share, and play games really easily. It is powered by Unreal, and we have thousands of free, high-quality music, art, and sound assets that you can use to build a game really, really fast. You don't need to know how to code, but if you do know how to code, you can write your own scripts and make even more amazing things. But if you don't, you can use our frameworks and templates or remix existing content or make games from scratch. And best of all, multiplayer comes built into Core, so you can make a 3D multiplayer game in literally minutes. And we'll show you how right now. So I'm going to pass it on to Tasha.
Okay, before we dive into the game creation aspect, I'm going to show off our character editor. So this is your player's persistent identity across games. And as you can see, we have a whole host of different personalities and heroes you can be or choose from. And you can also edit their various clothing objects with different colors. You can mix and match. We also have mounts you can ride. About this raptor guy, it's always fun. And then we also have emotes. So we have, I love the tantrum emote. We do have some other, they're all great. But I'm going to quickly switch back to our game creation aspect. So right here, this is what an empty project page looks like. And if I press create new, it'll bring up these 3 different modes of creation, which I will let Elisa explain a little bit more about.
Sweet. Thank you, Tasha. So you can see on the very left, you have that option to start from a completely empty scene to go and start creating your game from scratch. However, if you're getting started on Core or want a good starting point for a particular game mode, what I recommend are the Core game frameworks. So if you click on View Frameworks here, you can see tons of game modes that you can select and use as a starting point. So for example, we have things like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Capture and Hold. So we have first-person and third-person frameworks, and all these frameworks are free to use and will give you a great starting point to get any game working. It's made to be moddable, so you can go and really quickly swap out the map swap out the starting weapon. And even if you don't know how to code, you will have some logic with a whole bunch of comments to easily start getting in and making a game of a game type. We're constantly creating new frameworks as well. However, there's also another tab, the third one, which was community shared games. So if you click here, you'll see that there are tons of open source games created by the core creator community. So all these creators decided to make their game open source, meaning that you can click on any of these games here and check out their map, mod the game, swap out the map with something else, swap out the weapons, and this makes it really easy to learn as well, because you can simply hop into a game and learn really quickly, see how they made some assets, look at their code, and go and remix their game. We'll be swapping back to creating a game from scratch and showing you how to make a 3D multiplayer game in just a few minutes. Sweet. So what you see here is the core editor, and Tasha is going to be creating a scene right in front of your eyes. So Tasha will be showing off our terrain system, and you can see here that she's going to generate some terrain with our voxel-based system. This is a system which you can use to sculpt on terrain, to paint on terrain. It's very easy to also import your own height map from the real world, like Mount Fuji or other places around the world, and just recreate that in Core really quickly. So just as you see here, Tasha has dropped in a terrain material, and you can see that based on the height and the slope of the terrain, that the material looks a different way every single time you drop in another material. So you can see the gray into green, and you can also, of course, paint on this terrain as well to pave roads, to add water, and the like.
Yeah, Core is extremely accessible, and if you want to get deeper with it without in complexity, so we want to make it as easy as possible for people to create and just remove those barriers to game creation and really, really empower that next generation of game creators. So with the demo right now, we're going to show you how to create a game that we call Sniper Alley from scratch using a game construction kit that we provide, and we have several of those that people can take, remix, or even just copy and paste individual 3D assets like a building or a gun.
Sweet. Thank you, David. So as you can see here, Tasha has gone into the community content tab, and this is where creators can choose to share any of their scripts, their assets, or the like, and make them open source and shared with the community. Simply by hitting the import button, we can have a local copy downloaded to our machine. So here you can see that Tasha has downloaded the Sniper Alley construction set. This particular set lets you really quickly build out a desert-like scene with buildings that people can use as cover and as places to shoot from as we develop this sniper game. Right now, you can see that she has imported a basic arena. You can see some palm trees and rocks across the scene, some water as well.
And everything that you see here was created in Core. We didn't import anything from Maya or Blender. This is all created using the basic primitives and 3D assets that we provide. And what Tasha's showing off here is the dynamic waterfall effect that changes in real time as you move the rock. You can see how the waterfall effect changes, and it's really cool. So you can see the effect that your changes have in real time. So now we're going to move to the big empty arena and start populating it. Go ahead, Elisa.
Yep. So just as David said, you can see that Core is a one-stop shop with a whole bunch of assets, everything from models and primitives to kitbash from, sound effects, music, post-processing, VFX, and the like. So without even having to go into more tools or download them or buy licenses, you can use Core as your one-stop shop to create games and also publish them And here you can see Tasha is building out the scene here from the building tile set that she imported from community content.
All right, and yes, it's my favorite part of the demo, the urban planning portion. So what I'm doing is just dragging in some of these buildings that someone else has lovingly put together and then uploaded to community content. And I think, let's see, I'm going to turn Snap to Grid on. And what that means is all of the objects I drag in will be placed on a grid, and you can also control the size of the grid, the increments of rotation, as well as scaling. So let's drag in a few more houses. And then as David and Elisa said, everything you see here has been built with the assets we provide in Core. So these houses are actually made out of one of our tile sets. This is the white box tile set, and then by using the different materials we provide, we've been able to make it look like a house or building you might find in the desert.
Yes, so there are thousands of free assets inside Core content, hundreds of materials, hundreds of music assets, and we're continuously building them out every single patch. So we just released, for example, our fantasy tile set, and we are looking forward to adding even more for people to kit bash and model from.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add is that not only has Manticore built thousands of assets that we offer, but our community also has the ability to create their own user-generated content. And then if they want to, they can choose to share it with the rest of the community. And that's in community shared games, but also community content. You're going to share like individual props or scripts that you have made. So, you can make like, I guess someone like Tasha made this creepy stuffed monkey that a lot of people like to use in their games. So yeah.
Sweet. So up next, we'll be showing you how to take a gravity gun from community content, import that user-generated content, and quickly swap out the weapon inside the game. So by default, inside the game settings, after Tasha imported this, we have a sniper rifle, just as its name, Sniper Alley. Tasha, if you want to press play and show off how it looks like, then that would be great.
Yeah, let me just make sure I dragged in the gameplay logic. Okay, perfect. So in this folder, we have all of our scripts and settings. And let's see, if I look under, properties, come on now, there we go. You can see our starting weapon is the advanced sniper rifle, and as Elisa said, if I press play, I have this really awesome sniper rifle, and of course the reticle was actually made with some of our UI elements. Oh, I think they actually updated this because it looks really good. All right. But if I wanted to swap that out with something else, all I would need to do is go to the gravity gun I just downloaded.
Yeah, so this is a user-created gravity gun. Oh my gosh, I just talking about to this person just one week ago. So it's awesome to see. We can just grab that gun from that creator and swap it in there by just dragging it into the custom property starting weapon. And just like that, if we press play, we will have that gravity gun attached to the player and be able to shoot.
And then I will say making weapons in Easy is extremely approachable. I don't have a lot of game design experience, but I've been able to make several pretty cool weapons, if I may say so myself. We have tutorials and documentation on all of that on our doc site.
Yeah, a lot of our weapons, or the first set of weapons, were actually made by 2 interns last summer who just went to town and made a whole bunch of weapons for us. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, we also just, in fact, launched a Core Game Dev Bootcamp program, and a lot of these new users who had just come into Core were able to create guns, model their own guns, make it functional, make it deal damage, perhaps have some special functionality like that gravity gun, and do so only within 2 to 3 days, already making their own assets and being able to create showcase-worthy content.
And another really cool thing that you can do in Core is you can change the player movement settings, like the gravity of the level, by just with a drop-down menu. You don't have to go into the code or anything. It's that easy, and we can show you that really quickly right now as soon as Tasha finishes building her beautiful desert city.
Sorry, I just thought this space looked a little empty and needed something in there. Okay, so next up we're going into a settings object, and which one did you want me to jump into first?
Let's change the gravity. So let's go into player movement settings.
Okay, and that should be in our gameplay logic. Player settings. Maybe it's in our settings.
Yeah, I think we can just use the search bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Try third-person player settings.
Thank you so much.
There we
I
go.
feel blind. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. And then as you can see, we have a whole bunch of different properties you can mess with. Everything from ground friction to gravity to how many jumps you get to if mounts are enabled and whatnot. And let's see. I'm going to give us a double jump, and then let's change the gravity to I'll do 0.5, and we'll see how that plays. Yep. So now I'm quite floaty, and it was just as easy. And oop, there's our double jump.
Oh, you're jumping really high.
Cool.
Sweet, awesome.
Might be a
I think
game.
one last feature that we might want to show off is the multiplayer preview mode. Core excels at making multiplayer games. Even if you have no experience, I definitely didn't have any experience with multiplayer games before. It's really easy to make them. You don't have to play any server crosses whatsoever, and it'll spin up as many instances as you need. So here, Tasha has enabled multiplayer preview mode and is now spinning up 2 clients. So it will let you be able to go and play as if you're one player or another, and you can do a lot of good testing with this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
here's
the
one
great
window.
thing about Core is that it enables you to make multiplayer games and not have to worry about server hosting fees and setting up servers and everything. So this is a really, really powerful feature that we have that a lot of people have never dreamed of making a multiplayer game, but now you can.
There we go. And I just realized I don't think we're going to get very many kills with the gravity gun. So let me switch that back to our sniper rifle before I forget. But that was a great preview of simulating more players on your map. All right. And let's see. Let me search for advanced.
While Tasha is doing so, I'm just going to go and quickly share that just like you don't have to pay for any server costs and the like, Core is also a one-stop shop in which you can quickly publish your game and be able to play with anyone across the world. So once you publish your game, you will be given a game link, and you can send that game link to any of your friends, and they will instantly be able to jump into that game in a matter of seconds, and you'll be able to easily prototype, to just play with them, to make fixes, hot fixes immediately if you published with some game-breaking bug. And otherwise, it's just a really good way to quickly be able to communicate, iterate, and get feedback. Here you can see that Tasha is taking a screenshot for the thumbnail of her game. She can also take a screenshot within the editor, as you can see here.
All right. Okay.
Sweet. So you can see here Tasha is now publishing her game by just hitting the publish game button in the top right corner of the editor. She's going to quickly select a couple tags for her game, action and adventure, and she can also take screenshots for the thumbnail of her game in editor as well.
All right.
Her beautiful laid out city. and couple
Screenshot.
tags,
And
then
boop.
a screenshot, and then we can publish the game, and literally goes live right away on the coregames.com website. And you can share the link with your friends and start playing right away, which is what we're going to do now. So we're going to hop into the game now that it's published.
Awesome. So with that link, you can go and send that to any of your friends across the world, and they'll suddenly be able to jump into your game, help you get feedback for it, and quickly iterate.
All right, and then we're just spinning up a server here. And then if you guys have any questions, again, please just let us know in chat. And I think we're coming up on time. Elisa and David, was there anything else you wanted to plug?
Well, you can see that how we built this. Oh, someone's shooting at me.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot to drag in our UI elements. So let me show you guys how easy it is to edit a game. So if I just go back here, so I've just exited, and here we go, Sniper Alley construction set. And we'll drag in our UI. So now we'll have a kill feed, abilities, ammo, and everything. And I'll drag in our atmospheric. So I don't know if you guys caught that change, but we have a whole bunch of post-processing effects you guys can mess with. And I think UI, logic, atmospherics, we're good. I'm going to save. I'm going to go back to publish game and then just review an update public.
Yeah, so you can see how quickly Tasha is updating this game, and this way you can really quickly iterate, prototype, and push in hot fixes like in the matter of seconds. You can see that she just changed that in the matter of like 1 minute or so, and we will see the updates live.
Can you imagine being a streamer and making these changes live, or making a game with your community, with your viewers? I think that's a very exciting use of Core.
All right, and joining game. Here we go. Now we have the UI, so you can tell who's ahead, who's losing, who's a god, and who's a scrub. So let's see. If I can... Ooh, Vitriol joined. Excellent. If I can find anyone here. And of course,
so if you look up, you might be able to see some rotating helicopters, nice sound effects when they approach.
Okay, let's see. I hear some people shooting at me. Or shooting at other people, I should say. Ah, here's someone. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Elisa, I don't want to kill you.
Oh, man. Does that mean I can kill you?
Yeah, kill me. You should kill me.
What? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Someone killed me.
So
you can see the post process here as well.
Death and respawn settings. Working
Just
great. And of course, you can change the respawn settings as well. You can add permadeath if you want. Okay.
I think we go to the fountain and go through the secret door. Hi there. Don't shoot me.
Okay, I won't shoot you. Okay.
Seems like we got a couple more friends hopping in. You can see Tobbs here is destroying these destructible barrows.
Oh.
And, looks like someone killed her before she could.
How about we jump into another... Oh, okay, someone killed me. How about let's jump into Spell Shock.
Okay. So
Sounds good.
Very quickly show off.
Let's show off a few other games.
Yeah. So you can decide when you publish whether it is published publicly or published privately. So in this case, when Tasha published it, a whole bunch of people jumped in and started killing us. But if you wanted to really quickly play the game just privately within our team or group, we could do so and have a private game that's unlisted.
And now we're going to jump into another game called Spell Shock. So this is a capture and hold game that's fantasy themes, that's with spells, as the name implies. And you're two opposing teams that are trying to capture and hold these different spots on the map and get to 500 points, I believe, as fast as possible.
All right, and joining game, here we go. Oh, okay, I am on the Blight side. So here we have all of the different weapons that are available for my character to choose from. So I can equip the Poison Crossbow, Ice Sword, gauntlets, or the Fire Staff. And then as you can see in the lower right corner, I have all of these abilities that I can use. So I can shoot, I can scope in, I can also air boost, heck yeah, and then I can have poison rain fall from the sky. And I think that just about comes up on our time, so I hope this game kind of gives you an idea of the variety of games that you can create with Core. And let's see, David or Elisa, do you want to share a little bit about the art contest we have going on and our Discord?
Yeah, so starting on July 1st, we will be hosting a Core Creator Contest in partnership with Extra Credits and this amazing ArtStation artist called Tohad. And we have over $3,500 worth of prizes for people to create 3D worlds, environments, and games inspired by Tohad's amazing art. You can find it on itch.io in the Jams page, and we'll also be sharing the link to it in chat in a little bit.
Sweet, thank you, David. So I wanted to go and plug in the Core Creator Community Discord. So if you ever want to learn games, then I highly recommend that you jump into that Discord. We have a very friendly, warm community with like-minded game devs who just want to learn and help each other. Highly recommend to hop on there and to also check out docs.coregames.com for our documentation website. So you can find a whole bunch of tutorials there to get started making your first game, start creating weapons, and it's a great way to just learn game development in general as well.
And one last plug, if you guys are interested in Core and want to play more of the games, or if you're looking for inspiration for your game jam, which I know starts very soon at 3 p.m. Pacific time, we will be hosting a playtest running through some of our favorite games, and that'll be on our Twitch channel, or if you're part of our Discord, we'll alert you there, and that is twitch.tv/corelive, so tune in if you want to. All right, I think that just about wraps everything up. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you IGDA for hosting us, much appreciated. And I hope you guys check out Core, and please let us know if you have any questions.
And good luck to everyone on the Game Jam.
Yep, good luck everyone. Thank you.
Awesome, bye.
As you can see, Core is one of the great tools you can use for this game jam. And with support from the Core team and from Unity, and of course all of our wonderful game development mentors and IGDA members, we're here to make sure that you can succeed. So it's time to get started. Over the next hour, we'll be connecting teams who have signed up for mentors with their mentors, but give us a little time. There's a lot of you. We really hope that you enjoy the next 49 hours of experience, and we're sure that this is going to be a great way to build or start your career in game development. So, for this weekend, get comfy, snuggle some pets, drink some caffeine, and make some games. I can't wait to see what you build.